Yeah, it's the REKK Report. Rekkhan's in the building, giving you the raw and uncut. You know how I do. Sit back, relax. Welcome to my world. We getting it in. Let's get this started. It's the REKK Report. What's going on, y'all? Like I said, the topic of the day is pretty much, I got the question was, well, why do we feel like it's hard for men to date women with kids? And this is a I'm gonna say a touchy subject. It's just a subject because I've been on both. I've dated women with kids, dated women without kids. It's pretty much, it's a definite difference, but the difference is more of a convenience. It's more of being free. You know what I'm saying? Being free to do stuff. Main thing, like I said, I had a friend of mine. She's she has 3 kids. And like I said, she just got out of a relationship and she's kind of trying to figure out, to get herself back into the game of dating. First and foremost for me, you want a male's perspective, here you go. Let that go. I mean, it's the fact. See, the thing is, she has young kids. She has kids, I think, that are probably under 12. She has like 3 of them. I think it's, I don't know, that 12, 10, and like 7 or something. That's the issue right there. When you're dealing with young kids, most guys don't want to deal with that, because the father is kind of in the picture, but he's not. Y'all not together, but we always hope that y'all kind of work that stuff out, because we want, I will definitely prefer someone who has kids by someone to be in a relationship with that person. I guess, like I said, in my case, I had a friend of mine I was messing around with, and she had 4 kids. But the difference was she was married, and like I said, they came from a relationship, so it was like all 4 they were her. They were out of the same people, so I was cool with that. And once they got separated, and I guess eventually divorced, I was like, cool. I didn't have any problem with it, because I don't have no, I'm that dude. I don't really care about stuff like that. Like, if you allow me to be that father figure, you allow me to be, in your life, it's cool. But the thing is, in most cases, these women who have kids don't want that person that they're talking to or they're messing with to be in their kid's life. They do, but at a point. Like, you can't say anything. You can't say anything on behalf of, like, I don't know, disciplining the kids or saying something. That's the problem, because you can't allow a man to be that dude, because it's always an issue. It's always if you say, I'm not looking for a father for my kids. My kids already got a father and all that other type of stuff. And when you're dealing with young kids, it's always that whole process of you trying to tell them something, even if you're just telling them, hey, don't jump on the bed, don't do this, that, or whatever. You ain't my daddy. You ain't my daddy. And the thing is, most people don't want to raise nobody else's kids, man. And then the thing is, I've seen like her page, and I've seen what she's done. Like, since they've separated or they've divorced or whatever, she's had a few dudes that have stepped into the picture, but they wasn't that long. And the reason why was because it's about convenience. It's about, if I sit back and say, let's go out, you got to get a babysitter. Wow. Yeah, that's rough. If you got to find a babysitter, you got to find a time, you got to structure all this stuff. Understandable. Like I said, I was that dude. I was a single father. So once my daughter was, in my life, like, pretty much like it was a daily thing. It wasn't like she would go to her mom's or anything like that. She was with me her entire life. So I had to build my life around my kid, you know, and pretty much social life was non-existent. I chose to be a parent, and that was it, because I had this kid. So that's one of the things. Pretty much step out the game for a little while, until and it was like until my daughter got old enough, to kind of do her own thing or kind of maintain, certain things. That's when I was like, okay, well, I might do something. I might go out and I might hang out with this woman or this woman. But first of all, it was never a revolving door. It was never a revolving door of women that my daughter saw and was like, yeah, this girl was here last week. There was another girl here this week. That's one of the things, because you don't want that. You don't want that type of image to be going through your kid's mind. Like, hey, it's a different person here every week. Because for somebody who has that many kids like she did, like I said, 3 kids is, it's like, okay, you have to realize these are young kids. The dude is still around. And not saying, we don't have a problem. Majority of the women that I've ever dated has had kids. No big thing to me. I know how it is. It's all right. I had a kid myself. So it was able to work because we both know where we were coming from. So we knew we couldn't get certain days or certain times we couldn't hang, because the kids had to do this. My kid had to do this. Her kids had to do this. So that works. But when you're trying to mess around with a guy who doesn't have any kids, or probably does have kids, but they're not like with him, he pretty much can do what he wants to. He can do, if he calls you up, and says, let's go out, and you say, I can, but I can't because I need a babysitter. That'll only work for so long, and then eventually you're gonna be like, nah, you ain't got the time. And the last thing you want, I don't want to be with somebody if I say something about mentioning time and they decide to do something crazy like leave the kids at home just because they want to hang out. That don't work for me. I'm like, hey, where's you couldn't find a babysitter? Nah, they just there by themselves. I'm finna take you back home because I ain't trying to have that. I ain't having that on my head in case something happened and the house burned down because you trying to go kick it. So my advice on that is simply just hang it up for a little while. Take some time and raise them kids, man. Raise your kid or kids before you think about going out to dating. I want to get my groove. I want to, like, yo, you had that option. You had that option before you had kids. But you chose to, once you had these kids, like, yo, your social engagement is done, dude. That's it. It's time for another phase, which means taking care of your kids. And like I said, you can take care of your kids and still have a social life and all this other type of stuff. But the thing is, parenting is first. So if like I said, she was dating dudes that didn't have kids, or what the kids weren't in their life, like directly, like they would go see them and all other type of stuff. But it was like, it was technically like single dude, single kidless dudes. So they would they'd go out, but to be honest, all they trying to do is smash. They trying to smash. They not trying to be in those kids' life. They're not trying to step up and be the stepfather, because you don't want that man to be the stepfather. You don't want him to have any leeway in your life by pretty much like saying, okay, well, if he does something wrong, you let him know, blah blah blah. Because if I say, like, if your kid does something and I see it, and then I say, hey man, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? He flips out, and then, yeah, he ain't my daddy, and then you come and say, yeah, don't talk to my son that way, or don't talk to my daughter that way, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? He can do what he wants. So which pretty much undermines, the respect that you have for me, the respect that, so which in other words, he ain't gonna have that respect for me, or she ain't gonna have that respect for me to say, hey man, I'm trying to tell you something that's right, But it's certain situations, like if the kids is disrespecting their mom, And I'd be like, yo, chill, man. Stop. You can't call your mom no bitch. And you can't, yeah, you ain't gonna. And then she co-signs with the kid, because the kid is disrespecting her. But you gonna co-sign and get on me like it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, a lot of dudes cop out over stuff like that. Like, man, if you're not trying to have me all in, because I'm all in. And we got a couple of guys, we got a few guys that are all in. They like, yo, if I'm with this woman, she has kids, I want to, something happens, I don't mind, stepping in there. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, you don't want them to. You want to have fun and you want to kick it and do all this other type of stuff. But you don't want that dude at your house. You don't want that dude watching your kids. You don't want him doing anything that puts him in a position like, I can raise my own kids. I don't need all that. I don't need you for that. I just need you. Then just call it what it is. Just say I got you for the reasons that I got you for. My kids are not involved in all this. You leave it like that. As long as you set that, but you don't want to set that. And then when the dude hits you up and say, yo, I'm going out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you say, I can't go because I need a babysitter. I can't do this. I can't do that. Then that's not his problem. That's a you problem. And you can't get mad at him because he decides he still want to go out because you can't. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got the responsibility of parenting. You do. So either just take that L and just say, okay, well, we'll see each other in a couple of days or whatever the situation is. Take the responsibility of them kids first. But the whole dating thing, like I said, if you just get out of a relationship, or you in a relationship or you not, and you got an X amount, you got some kids, you got to realize, man, them kids is priority number one. It ain't about you. I made the choice a long time ago. Once my child came, it wasn't about me no more. It was all about maintaining, maintaining that child. So everything suffered. Socially, my social life suffered. Occupational, my job suffered. I had to adjust my life around my kid because my kid is my priority. Y'all got to get it in your head that that's what it is. That's what it's about. I grew up in a time when, people, women will leave their kids home by themselves and say, because I want to go out with I want to go out with some, with him, or I want to go out with my friends, or I want to do something. I'm like, nah, dude, you let that whole kicking it go. That kicking it phase left once you had that kid. And like I said, if I'm in a position, I'm just like, yo, is somebody watching your kids while you out here? Nah. He, the oldest, he 10, he good. Nah, I'm finna take you back to the house because this ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't worth it. So my advice, if you, woman with kids and you want to go out here and go, dating and all that type of stuff, your best bet is probably dating a dude who has kids. But the thing is, y'all don't want that. See, you want people to accept your kids, but you don't want to accept anybody else's kids. You like, I don't want to. The same reasons why you don't want to deal with a man with kids is the same reasons that men have when it comes down to dating, women with kids. The reasons are pretty much still the same. It's like, you're not available when when you're available. You're not available when I need you to be available. We can't go out because you got to do this. You have priorities. You have responsibilities. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, nobody pretty much just, wants to raise somebody else's kid, or, no dude wants to do that. I mean, if it comes to a point that you care about this woman, you love this woman, you want to be around them, so be it. Then that's how it happens. But nobody they sought out for that. And for her going out, all the dudes she was messing around with was straight, straight dudes that was, their whole intention was to smash. They might not say it. They like, yeah, I want to be there for the kids, and I could be a good, whatever, until she shuts that down and like, well, nah, I don't need another father for my kids. I don't need a father figure. They got a daddy. So that shuts it down. Like you don't want to try to build nothing. Dude, all right, cool. All we own is this. All we own is smashing. Let's just do that. get together for a little while, and then eventually I'm gonna move on because it's like, yo, you ain't got the time for me. With good, good reason. You got kids. You got other responsibilities. You got to do, you know what I'm saying? You got to do father their kids. Let him raise his kids. Let him hang out with his kids and do this, that, or whatever. So I've had women that are with, had relationships, had kids. And when we started messing around, we started dating and everything. She, when she had to, take her kid to be watching, she sent us to her daddy house. She was like, yo, watch your kids, man. Watch your son for a couple of days. I'm about to go out and I'm finna try to, do this, that, or whatever. That's cool. You can do that. Yeah, but dating a woman with kids, like I said, I never had an issue with it. And but the thing is, it does exist. It does have, is an issue for a lot of guys that I know. A lot of guys don't even want to date women with kids because of the element of like, yo, if I call her and say we going out, this, that, or whatever, it has to be a whole thing. It has to be arrangements, babysitters, all this other type of stuff, which is cool. And a lot of people like, man, dude, if you wanted to hang out with you, man, pay for a babysitter. Like, yo, really? Really? It's like, it's like, it's cool, but it's like, man, really? So I'm obligated to basically take care of these kids because the thing is, dude ain't thinking about them kids. He not thinking about your kids. You know what I'm saying? Unless he really feel like this is something serious. If he other than that, he's more like, okay, I can get out the house. I go and drop some money on the babysitter. We hanging out. I'm gonna do what I do. Then after a while, we good. Because I got my own stuff to deal with. I got my own problems to deal with, my own kids to deal with. But like I said, my thing, if you're a woman who has kids, date another dude with kids. Because he understand where you coming from. Dude, somebody who ain't got no kids, they don't understand. Man or woman, they don't understand the priorities and the responsibility that you may have. Or if they do, they're not really worried about it. I got women that I've known that don't have kids that, I was like, at the time I'm raising my daughter, and it's like, yo, they want to do some stuff, and I'm like, yo, I can't either I get a babysitter or she's coming with us. And the same thing with a dude, dating a woman with kids. It's like, yo, either I'm gonna find a place, somebody to watch them, or they're gonna have to come with us, which means you're gonna have to come out your pocket. And I think I saw some other guy was commenting on it. He was like, let's go into like the animal kingdom, or just go like that. Like when a lion, meets a new lion, female lion was a lioness, whatever you want to call it. And she meets, he's trying to get with that, with her. She got kids. He ain't trying to have them kids. He trying to he taking them kids out. He's like, he taking them out. Like, that's what they do. It's kind of that mindset. It's like, yo, everybody else is like, I don't have a problem. Like I said, if I date a woman with kids, cool. You know what I'm saying? We'll work it out because I know what she's going through. I know what she's dealing with. There's some dudes that'll mess around, date a female, and then as soon as they get in or whatever, they like they say, they ship the kid off the boarding school. They ship the kid off somewhere. But like I said, it's levels when it comes down to either younger kids and older kids. You have young kids, you sit back and try to say something to them. Like hey man, don't touch that dude. Hey, leave that alone. You ain't my daddy. And then that's when that whole process comes. And instead of, you co-signing and saying, yo, hey, saying you was messing up. He told you to put something down and you didn't, but you co-signed. Don't talk to my kid that way. And then that puts you in a position like, okay, you don't want me to help you do anything. And I'm like, let's be real. We not trying to do the whole help thing. Like, we don't mind helping, but it's like, yo, really? You give me a hard time for helping you, do some stuff. Like, but if it's an issue, they'll say, well, can you talk to my son for me? My son, he's kind of acting up, doing or whatever. Can you talk to him? I'm like, yeah, but you didn't already set the pace that this kid don't respect me because you didn't chew me out for telling on him. So what I did when I was dating women with kids, You know what I'm saying? I knew it was like, this is not gonna be, you know, for last too long. I just like, I started snitching on the kids. I was like, yo, you can't let me tell them what to do or tell them what not to do. I'm telling them. I'm like, yo, your son over here doing this, that, or whatever. Your daughter over here doing this, whatever. She not listening, or he not listening. I was a tell. And I see what she do. What she do with that information. If she go and pretty much punish them for their behavior, well, you know, basically, you know, lay down the law, that's cool. I'm with that. But if she decide, you know, just let her go, it's all right. I say, okay. Get to a point when you cursing in front of your kid, and your kid decide to call you a bitch or call you, you know, out of your name. And then, you know, I'm like, yo, you know, and I'm trying to like, whoa. Don't talk to your mom like that. Well, you ain't my daddy. I do what I want. And then instead of you siding on my end and being like, yo, yeah, he's right. Don't talk to me like that. You know, I'm trying to get her to stand up for herself on some things, but she turns, now you talk to my kid like that. I'm like, yo, your kid just disrespected you. I'm trying to say, yo, don't disrespect your moms. Nobody disrespect their moms. But like I said, man, it's a slippery slope, man. But the reality is like, if you're a woman and you trying to go out here and date, you know what I'm saying, date somebody with some kids, date a dude with some kids. You know what I'm saying? That's the best. I figure that probably be the best route you can go, because you know, you mess around with other dudes and it's all that whole, I want to get my groove back. If that's all you want, speak on it. Talk about it. Go meet this dude and say, I like you. You're a nice dude. You know, he not worthy enough to be around my kids. So all I'm gonna do is smash him. That's what he gonna be. He gonna be my dude that I hit. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Let it be known. Because if someone, you know, if a man wants to step up and be a father to, you know, to your kids, that's fine. But the thing is, you have to let them. You have to let them and realize, like, if we trying to build a unit, with this dude, then he gonna have to, you know, he gonna have to respect that dude. And if you don't respect him because he said something, you know what I'm saying, to the fact of, you know, your kid are trying to, you know, help you. He sees something, he saw something, like your kid stole his candy bar. I'm gonna go, hey, nah, leave him alone. I don't talk to him like that. That's my son. That's my baby. Don't, like, all right, cool. Y'all good by yourself. So I've let women go because of those reasons. I'm like, yo, if you don't want me to say anything or do anything about your kids, or, you know, I can't be that person. I can't help you, or I can't be around somebody that doesn't respect me enough to say, yo, this ain't no crazy stuff. Ain't nobody here trying to mess with, you know, saying, beat up nobody else's kids or anything like that. But I'm like, yo, if your kid doing wrong, I'm gonna let them know. We come from an environment, we come from the days when the whole, you know, the neighborhood knew what was going on with your kid. If your kid was out there doing something stupid, it trickled itself down. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew, and it trickled itself down to the parent, like, yo, your son stole some stuff. The parent down the street took your kid to the house, told you, and did this, that, or whatever. And you didn't, it wasn't no thing. Now you can't say nothing to nobody else's kids no more. You know what I'm saying? Even if you in the right. Don't talk to my kid like that. Don't talk to my kid like that. And that's the mentality. That's why dudes be like, man, I ain't trying to mess around with no girl with no kids, man. She, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She ain't never got no time for me. She ain't never got this, that, whatever. And like I said, if you decide to want to leave your kids at the house by themselves, so you can go kick it and go hang out, I'm turning back around. I'm like, yo, who watching your kids right now? Nah, ain't nobody there. You know, he 11. He'll be all right. He 11. He had some snacks and all that. Nah. You going back home? I'm finna go out. So I could be the dude and say, well, we can stay in. But I'm like, you know, if I decide to stay in there, like, yo, let's call it what it is. But other than that, I'm like, I'm finna go out. That's when you messing around with somebody who doesn't have the responsibility of kids. That's the thing is, when you mess around with somebody with kids, with a, you know what I'm saying, woman who has kids, hey, those are probably, you know, that's a priority. You got to say, okay, let me see if this is going to take something, you know, a toll on my life, and be like, well, you know, a lot of dudes don't want that. A lot of dudes is trying to get in and get out. Dudes trying to smash and be done. If it comes down to it, like, The only way they will probably feel like they want to be or like date a woman with kids, because they figure maybe if we was in a relationship and she end up getting, getting pregnant by me, end up getting pregnant, and we start to build a relationship, then I don't mind being in the whole mix of the thing, because my kid, my biological is in the mix of that. So I'm like, okay, we got a kid together. She has 2 kids. I have a kid. Let's make this happen. But if you you don't have the responsibilities, you don't deal with that. And dudes is the same way, just like women are. When a woman decides to mess around with a dude, they get kids. She always says like, I don't want you, baby mama drama and all this other type of stuff. Dudes is the same way. Dudes is like, yo, if I say something to your kid, about an issue or something that he did, and he go tells his pops, he go tells his dad, and his dad come at me, and then you co-signing with that, like, yo, he was doing wrong, we got a problem. And the dude's like, man, I ain't got to deal with this. Them ain't my kids. I ain't got to deal with that. So my thing is, hey, you want to go out there and you want to go and date another dude who got kids. Men don't mind. Like, I don't have the responsibility now. My daughter's at a point that she's gravy. She's doing her own thing. So I can go out and I can hang out and I can do all this other stuff. But if it's a woman that has kids, I take it into account. Like, every day we can't hang out. We can't hang out every day. We can't, she has priorities. She has responsibilities. Just like we all do. We get older, we get responsibilities. My life revolves around my kid. Your life should revolve around your kid. You shouldn't be worried about trying to get your groove back, because you made that choice. So, man, it's men out here who date women with kids. I would say 95% of the women I've dated has had kids. It didn't work out because, once people have to realize this stuff it's a package deal. They can say what they want. Well, my daddy don't, my kids don't need no other father. Then you don't want to be with nobody. You don't want to be with another dude then. Be with them for the reason that you want to be with them for. Don't sit back and say, well, my kids my kids are important to me. Yeah, they cool. They are important to you. Doesn't necessarily mean they're important to me. So if they have a problem, if they need something, they got a daddy, right? Go holler at that dude. And the thing is, especially when kids are young, I probably prefer, and a lot of real men would probably prefer that, when you have kids by someone that you end up being that you decide to be in a relationship with that person. Some people, some of the situations, y'all, you have a kid by a dude that y'all ain't even together by the time the baby is born. And then, that whole mindset, you just jumping right into another quote unquote relationship. And it's a problem. It's a problem. And, it has to be spoke on. It's like, yo, you got to, the reality is, once you have that kid, that's your life. That's your life right there. And until they get to, I guess, a legal age, I guess 18, 21, whatever the situation is. So being social, going out shouldn't even be on your menu. Your menu is them kids. My menu, my reality was my kid. So once I got to a point, once she got old enough, like I said, once she hit, high school and all this other type of stuff, I was like, okay, well, she told me, she was like, Dad, you need to go out and, meet somebody. All you do is take care of me. So I was like, okay, let me get myself back out here. But I did have like intimate things going on throughout the years, but it was strictly physical. It was strictly physical. Any female at the time going through that time frame, it was like, okay, I got this going on. I got this going on. I got this going on. Can you handle that? If you can handle that, cool. We get together, do what we do. You go to your separate corner, I go to mine, and we good. If that works for you. But the thing is, that stuff has to be expressed. It was more like when I saw her post, because I looked her up, her post, the dudes that she was messing around with after her relationship was dudes she out there hanging out, she getting drunk, she in the club, she doing all this other stuff. So that's the type of dude you're going to run into. You're going to run into a dude that's his only priority. He don't want to date you. He just want to smash and keep it moving. And the moment you decide like, well, I'm going somewhere, we going to Great America, we going to Disney. It's like, yeah, okay. Who gonna cover the kids' costs? I mean, I ain't no cats is ballers or whatever, but it's like, yo, if you got like 4 kids, yo, holla at that dude, holla at the father and be like, yo, we all going to Great America, we all going to WhatCom, could you get the kids some get them some bread so they can, pay for their tickets to get in there. Cause it's like, yo, dudes don't want to, run that baller stuff if you want to. But the thing is, I want families to be together. I want families to stay together. But it's like, you making the wrong choices because you keep dealing with the wrong people. You dealing with the wrong people. And then, like I said, that's what happens. Dudes is like, yo, I ain't trying to date her. I just want to smash her. Look at her, dude. She got a body. I don't care how many kids she got. They ain't my kids. I just want to smash. So that's the vibe you sending out. So unfortunately, you and the boat that you're in is like, yo, decide if you want to go date some, if you're mad at dudes who don't date, women with kids, date a man with kids. Do you want that? Do you have a problem with that? If you got a problem with that, then be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be by yourself. Because that's once them kids jump off, once them kids are in the picture, your selection is limited. And you can't get mad. You can't get mad at somebody that thinks like that. Or mad to say, I don't want to date a woman with kids. Or mad at a woman that said, I don't want to date a man with kids. That's their choice. Because they don't have to. I got women that I know that don't have kids and don't plan on having kids in their life. So they like, yo, I don't want to date anybody with kids. I don't want kids myself. That's their life. The problem is like, why can a woman say what she wants in a man, but a man can't say what he wants in a woman? That's the $64,000 question. Because if a man says, yo, I don't want to date nobody with kids, something like, oh, what's wrong with him? No, the same way you say you don't want to date a dude with kids, he's had this, we have a choice just like everybody else. And I'm just like, don't force it on me. If I know you got kids, we go into the whole conversation of like, how old is your kid? What's your kid doing? What is he up to? What is she up to? What is they doing? When they're young, you like, yo, it's a better chance for you to step in and kind of like really kind of be that father figure for them. But when they older, especially if they older, they teens or whatever, man, they ain't trying to hit. They ain't trying to hit. My daddy this, that, or whatever. My daddy over here. I don't need somebody. I don't need you to be in my face. You know what I'm saying? But date someone with kids, man. Date someone with kids. That's all I can say. That'll kind of help it because he understands where you're coming from. Dude who ain't got no kids, he want what he want. You want what you want. Just be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? If it's a smash situation, it's just a smash. Just, you know what I'm saying? Do that and keep it moving. Quit trying to say, well, he don't, and it has, trust me, it has nothing to do with the kids. It has nothing to do with if your kid is a great kid. No, it has nothing to do with the kids themselves. It's the fact of you making the choices that you made and sticking to those choices. It's like you made a choice to have this kid, so which means your social life is like you gotta shuffle stuff around. And dudes or women don't want to shuffle stuff around. If I say something like if a young lady, back in the days, and she asked me to go somewhere on a Wednesday, and Wednesday I can't do it because, hey, I got my daughter's at the house, my daughter's home, I gotta get her from school, I gotta do this, that, or whatever. I can't make it. Guess what's gonna happen? She gonna go out with another line. She gonna find another dude and say, hey, he couldn't make it. The same way a dude do the same thing. So you try to make things work, and if you want it to work, you make it'll work. But don't try to blame the whole gender and say dudes don't like women with kids. My thing for her, I'm like, simply put, you might have to date somebody with kids. And even though you like, well, I got kids, I don't want to date nobody with kids, baby mama drama. Like, dude, it don't really matter. Your choices have just got limited because you have kids. It's just what it is.
REKK Report.